Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your latest Wrexham news on the Breakfast Club for Friday, January 17th. Yes, and we got a little bit to get to today. A little bit of business, a little bit of news, a little bit of ranting. But as you can see on the thumbnail, it says about last night. And we ranted and raved yesterday, during the show, after the show, after the show, all night long. Probably all day today. I'm sure everyone has been doing that. I've been busy. I've been away working a little bit, so but I haven't really seen much other than the fallout from our conversations here on the Local Pundit. But yes, it is the day after a loss, and it doesn't feel good. It really doesn't feel good. You try to spin it. You try to relax on it. You try to think on it. You say, well, we could have done this, should have done that. Where's the positive? Who's the man of the match? Who's not the man of the match? Whose fault it is? Who's pointing fingers? And all in all, it's like, you know what? We got to take the blame on ourselves in certain areas. It's just not good enough in the back line yesterday. And a lot of sticks been going out to O'Connell. And to be fair, honestly, rightly so. I gave a little bit of stick to AO. Went short side. It was a great strike for the first one. I don't think you can give it up. Unlucky at times with the penalty that AO did save, so he battled back and did his business there. The follow-up was there. That's how you give it the 2 goals. And to be honest, I think we were all surprised that Palmer didn't play or wasn't on the bench. Ramirez is an injury, whatever it was. He was fuck it. He was dropped. He was dropped. And, whether it was an injury or not, he was dropped. And we had Fletcher come in and everyone was celebrating Fletcher. Fletcher played 90 minutes. I don't know when the last time Fletcher has played 90 minutes before. Somebody could look that up. I'd be interested in hearing that about there. But, we have to take blame. And to be fair, questions need to be asked. Serious questions need to be asked in regards to some of the rotating of the squad. Why are there players that aren't playing for certain things? I always joke about the unchanged 11, which, I wouldn't be surprised. 100%, I would not be surprised if there's an unchanged 11 for next Thursday's game, for the game against Birmingham City, which, by the way, you can see over my shoulder here. It is the next watch along, which will be Wrexham versus Birmingham City, home to Stoke at Keras. It is another Thursday. We'll be live at the Cosm for that too. So I want to put that out there. But reflecting back, I mean, who the hell was the man of the match last night? I see the chat. I heard EOC was a joke of the match, as Martin. Yeah, he was. He was. But reflecting on it and looking at it, we really have to take solace of like, all right, it's a loss going into I would say probably, for lack of a better word, the biggest game of the season, because it is Birmingham City. It is. If Wickham, anyone up in that top 6. It's a big game, 7 for that matter, as you see down there in the League One table. Sorry, I'm still just getting over whatever the hell it is. I have a little bit of a cold. But, I got to say, like, we really have to, and I always say, don't get too high, don't get too low. But, see, anything can happen in a derby. Form goes out the window. But for fuck's sake, they're 23rd. They're 23rd. We made poor mistakes yesterday. Really poor mistakes. We inflicted it on ourselves. And the show I did last night, which was great to have Reef Selkal on and Hip Karma on to talk about it, to calm everyone down. And also I read the speech, which is, we did it to ourselves. We did it to ourselves, and we let things happen. And it just kind of like snowballed. And it was like, what are we doing here? Unlucky at times. We had 4 strikers on, at one point. You had Mofal, Mullen, who literally couldn't hit a barn, couldn't throw it in the ocean, couldn't hit anything. Unlucky. Okay, fine, but he's not scoring. But he started Elliot Lee last night next to him. What's that saying? I mean, the guy is bang out of form. There is 0 form there. Like it's shocking. It's shocking how out of form Paul Mullen is. Shocking. I mean, he couldn't even put one on the line yesterday. It's shocking, The only good news that happened yesterday is JM's back, and he looked great. He looked sharp. He did. He looked great. But, we really got to look into the mirror. And, what's going to happen next week? I mean, sorry, in 5 days from now. It's 5 days. And we go to 5 days, 6 days. We play Birmingham City, and they're going to be up for it. And if we play like we did yesterday, honestly, I know we didn't give up, but if we do play that way, we're going to get rinsed. I mean, shit, you never want to root against your own team, but we're going to get rinsed. It was 3-1 last time we scored first. They just on the left back today. We're going to get rinsed. And you got to be honest. Now, the good news is, other than JM coming back, we have players that are probably chomping at the bit to get in there. Scar being one, and that is why they're. And we're I've been saying I don't know why he's not playing Scar. The whole bullshit about that he likes the pass, he likes to pass ball out of the midfield. Well, I said it yesterday 3 times during the show, after the show. That's not his job. Pass the ball to Matty James and use Matty James in the middle of the park who can distribute. O'Connell with the rush blood to the head goes forward, gets on Matty James' ass, and they're on top of each other when he should be giving the ball there. Now, if Scar is just a bruising defender, which everyone wants to call him, which I'm fine with. I think we need a little bit of steel back there. And I don't know why he fell out of favor with Parkinson. Maybe it's because of the passing. I'm not sure. But I'll tell you right now, it's not like the back line, like at O'Connell or Max, can pass the ball either after yesterday's performance. It was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And I relate O'Connell a little bit to Harry Maguire, and I'm going in on O'Connell a little bit, and I apologize. I said I probably wouldn't do that, but I'm going to do it. He reminds me of old Harry Maguire a couple years ago, trying to fix your mistake yourself. If you screw up, you try a little hard, trying a little too hard, playing within yourself. And I think that's what's happening here. And honestly, I think he deserves to be benched, and I think Max needs to be benched as well. That's my opinion right there. And in fact, I don't think he'll do it because of the magnitude of the game next week, and maybe we'll play it off. It's gonna, he's not gonna do it. We want to go with my team I trust, and the Parky way, whatever. And I'm not saying Parky doesn't have a reason to do that, but I think that it's time to rotate the squad a little bit here and there, not forced into it. Whereas like the Maka last week, because he got a card. And by the way, the treatment of Maka yesterday was horrible, and we've been looking at it. We got fines and stuff like that before. I'll tell you right now, they need to fine them for sure. Shrewsbury for controlling their fans, throwing lighters on the pitch, guys on the sideline, giving a double barrel finger, absolute horseshit. And they need to. I don't never want to call for fines, but it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. And yes, it's football. I understand it. I played sports at a high level as well, not as a professional, but you're always going to catch a little bit of stick. But yesterday was a little bit too far. And I'll tell you another thing too, right here. Maka needs to play the game. He's playing to the crowd, and he lost his head. And I said this, we played into their game. We played into their hands, and we fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. The amount of times he was looking on the sidelines and giving him the business back, I would be grabbing him if I'm Parkinson and say, hey, play the goddamn game. All this stuff. Let him sing at you. You're just that guy. He's the Dennis Rodman of our team. He just is. But yesterday, he's into the crowd. He's talking to him. He's looking at him. He's engaging with them. You're the professional, Maka. You're the captain. You need to stay focused and you need to play the football game. And he didn't do that yesterday. He lost it. I don't say he lost his head because he didn't. I'm not saying the abuse wasn't good, but he needs to show that he can handle it, which I know it's a lot, but it was a little much yesterday, him playing to the crowd a little bit. And I know we love it. We fire it up. Yeah, he's going after him. Maka's our guy. He can take all this. But I thought it was a little much. I would have pulled him aside. Hey, concentrate on the game because we're losing. And we weren't playing well yesterday. And I wanted to pick up on that too. So going into this week, it's going to be a big week. It's going to be a lot to talk about because we're going to play Birmingham City, which I either going to call the it's the Hollywood game, whatever it's gonna be. Yes, sorry, get to the chat. I'm sorry. Let me stop real quick. Steve Barton gifted 5 local pundit memberships. Thank you for supporting the local pundit. Everyone in here for supporting for supporting this channel. It's an absolute pleasure of mine and something that I look forward to every day as the local pundit myself. So thank you. But no, thank you. Whoever's gotten those local pundit memberships, get them. Hug him. Thanks, Steve Barton. Absolute legend there, too. Sarah Pritchard's in the house, too. I didn't do the rundown there. What's going on, Sarah Pritchard? And PCH Scuba says, Josh, I'll be happy to explain this. It's on Parky. Well, dive into that, PCH Scuba, and happy to drop a link in there if you want to come in and have your chat on the local pundit. Okay, stop blaming everyone else. EOC lost that game single-handedly. He did put us in a lot of danger. Steve Barton is hell-bent on that, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm not saying it was. I mean, he had a poor game. He really did. He really did. And we were chasing that game. We really were. Who ended up getting man of the match? I don't even know. Did anyone actually get man of the match, or was it just like into power? Like if sorry, what's going on here? What's going on here? Something's got my thing here. Joe. EOC did have his worst game. Sorry about that. Someone was messaging me. EOC did have his worst game in the shirt. And he tried to correct himself, which is fine. But going into this game, it's gonna be a big week. It's gonna have all eyes on us. It's gonna be all over the place. Hollywood game, all the shit, blah blah blah, everything, and rightly so it should. And rightly so it should. Because it's a big match, and if we want to go up now. If we want to go up, we got to win. We got to win big games. February is going to be an absolute bear. Every single game is away. Every single game is away, and we do not play well away. Obviously, I mean, somebody showed me the stats. Somebody showed me the stats of our away form and home form. Like first on every side, right? Away, absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. Like absolute disaster. PCH Scuba says this team was ill prepared to play this game yesterday. It looked that way. PCH, it looked that way for sure. It did. It definitely did. And we played into their tactics. We played right into their hands at every level. The first half was atrocious, and and this is probably unpopular opinion. Starting Fletch, I don't know if he had another option because he didn't want to start Mo Fall. Maybe he should have. I think we talked about that yesterday. But I'll say this again. Starting Fletch is not what Fletcher's role is. And yes, he scored the goal. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. He scored the goal, though. Yeah, he scored the goal. Why? Of course he did. But that's not his game, playing 90 minutes. Playing those 90 minutes. Obviously, because you trust him. You talked to him. We probably had a conversation. We just had an article last week about him and his knee. But playing 90 minutes, risking him for that on Shrewsbury? Come on. And I get it doesn't make sense because he did score the goal. I get it. But I would rather have him come on in the 75th minute and play 25 minutes because technically he really didn't touch the ball that much. He's the most talented player on that pitch yesterday. He totally was. I think Wayne said that yesterday. But I would have rather had him use his talent at the end of the game rather than in the beginning of the game because it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. Barney was getting crosses in there. It just wasn't working. So ill prepared for the game, possibly. That's a part of it too. Wrexham plays against stronger teams. Shrewsbury, R23rd, they beat Birmingham City. It happens. It does happen. The team needs to move on, and so do we. Well, wow. Usually I'm going to agree with that, but I'm going to have one more day of just like bitching about it, which is today. And you're right. I'm shutting it down. We're going to move forward. That's it. Nothing we can do about it now. The points are gone. Look at the table hasn't moved. So Glenda. Hey, Glenda, how are you? Kelly is correct there. Let us in the match was definitely the gaffer for sure, Ruth, for sure. And what's going on, Dan Moore? And Paul says exactly, Josh. No one ever agrees with me, but I'll take it, Paul. Good to see you, brother. I'm very concerned about our next match, but you have a good point at Kelly Davidson. I wonder how his knees are today. I mean, that's something I'm taking into consideration. We do. But for me, he's the best player we have at this point, I would say, other than Barney. But starting him, it didn't work. It did. We lost the game. He scored a goal, but it didn't work. We didn't win the game. And playing Elliot Lee up front next to him, he obviously, Parkinson's. Someone asked Parkinson a real question about Mullen. I've been saying it for 4 weeks now, 5 weeks now. Ask him a question about Paul Mullen. What's going on? Why is he not starting? Why is he not scoring goals? What I want to know. I want to know. Ask him a real question. Please stop blaming the offense. Defense lost this game. Spartan is all over it. All over it. I'm just having my say. And well, Steve, we got to score goals. You know what I mean? We got to score goals. So I take that. Defense wins championships. Offense wins games for sure. Welsh Techie, what's going on, brother? How are you? Are you out and about? You want to have a say? Let me know. I'm here. He also gifted 10 local opponent memberships. An absolute legend. Welsh Techie, how are you? Good to see you, and thank you very much for the support of the channel. And go eat more chips podcast out there. Hopefully, we'll see your flag flying this Thursday coming up. Appreciate it. Get those memberships. They help out everybody. I'm so happy and so grateful. So too. But I really do appreciate that. Ruth H, the last time he blew his knee up for a few days after his last start, I'm not sure if it was a smart move to start Fletch. I agree with that. Yes. Glenda Bursey got one. Awesome. Thank you, Welsh Techie. Steve Barton and Welsh Techie going out there and doing bits. I love it. But what were the other options, Josh? Talking about the front or the back? Well, he could have played Fall. He could have played Mo Fall. I know people don't fancy him. He could have played Mo Fall. He could have. Yes. We do have a very, very, very sorry, we do have the most generous members. We do, and it's awesome. Very pleased about. Thank you so much. And Chris Phillips got one as well. Hey, Chris, how are you? Welsh Techie is an absolute legend, and you're all legends, absolute all legends. But going back to this, what were the other options? Sarah Pritchard could have been Mo Fall. It really could have been, but it wasn't. He just doesn't fancy to start him. I don't think Mo has started a league game this season, has he? I don't think he has, but he won't. He won't do it. But yeah. Techie says he's got to cheer himself up after yesterday. Well, I'll cheer you up, brother. I'll have a conversation with you. Let me know. And it is Friday night. Friday. Thank football is Friday. Remember, no game tomorrow, obviously. And I think I am actually going to take tomorrow off from watch along. I am. There's no games on Paramount Plus, and I don't feel like giving any other teams 13 quid. So I think I'm probably going to take tomorrow off. So no watch along tomorrow. I think that's what. Maybe I'll wake up in the morning and I'll feel different. Maybe I will. But right now, I think I'm just going to rest and try to feel better. Try to get this cold out of the way. So, but just want to give you a heads up on that. So, but we will do a show tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a That's a Wrap show tomorrow or something like that to wrap up the games if I don't do a watch along. So we'll see. Okay. All right. Moving on a little bit, and we'll put that to bed. My main point of it is like, I think that Parkinson's going to go with an unchanged 11 next week, but he should be starting Dan Scar. That's my take. I think he should be starting Scar, and O'Connell needs a little bit of a rest. Needs a little sit down. Needs a hang out. I think he needs a little bit of rest. And I'm hoping Brunty comes back too. Comes in the lineup. I'd like to see a little bit of Brunt back there. He needs to get back. I think he has a calf injury, but I hope he comes back too. But the start of things, I think O'Connell needs to sit down. That's my opinion. And because we need to use that midfield, and they were just hit there. It was just boot, not even looking. So give the ball to the midfield. And get him out of there for a little bit. Has a little bit of rest. Josh, what about that HP printer comes online? What about when the HP Glenda, when it comes online, you know how we do. We break in and we do breaking news. And we will be there. If it happens, and we'll talk about what happened today with Foss 2.0 and the guys that went out, but Barton as well yesterday. Just a quick one too. And Barton says he needs to ride the goddamn pine. There you go. But he does. He needs some time on the bench. He needs to sit on the bench and relax a little bit. Just watch the game because it ain't. It didn't look good yesterday. It did not. Seems like when we play stronger teams, we play super defensive and it works. Well, we hit them on the break too. But yesterday was a different story. Yesterday was, again, we played right into their hands. And you know what? For my man of the match, by the way, I'm going to say it, is Ollie Rathbone. He was running around like a crazy guy yesterday. He usually has a better game than that. His impact of going around and taking, he took the ball off a couple of the guys. I thought he played pretty good. I would say pretty good, as in like a 6. And the rest of the team was like a 5. You always try to look to be fair, but Jesus, I mean, did they even do the ratings for the game yesterday? I don't even think they did. There's no way they did. They did. They did. Oh, here we go. Oh, they did do it. Oh, geez. This is the last bit I'll do here on this, and then we'll get out. We'll move on a little bit here. So, but they did do the ratings. How we rated a disappointing Shrewsbury loss. Hold on a second. Let me bring this up. And by the way, please smash a like a video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the local pundit. Okay. Hey, here we go. Arthur Conco made a great penalty save with his feet, but couldn't do anything about it. Got a 6. Ryan Barnett got an 8. Superb going forward once again, and picked out a peach of a cross receiver. Fletcher got an 8, so maybe they gave him the man of the match. Max Cleworth, Rex's best defender on the night. Are you shitting me? Really? Calm in possession in difficult conditions. Was that it? Did they watch the same game? I can't calm. He just got booted. He was not. I can't agree with that. By the way, is Scar solid? Solid defender. Solid championship defender. Old school. Good guy. But back to the Max thing. Wrexham's best defender on the night. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. O'Connell has to take all the blame for the Shrewsbury opener, giving the possession away and then missing a header. It got worse as he gifted the host a second half penalty. Well, he got a 4, and I can agree with that. Max was crap, says Ruth and Sarah. Yeah, and Barton, there you go. 4 for him. O'Connor, Stash gave the ball away too often, and his quality from set pieces wasn't the best. Our set pieces were terrible yesterday. Terrible. Matty James failed to get a hold of the ball and gave O'Connell a hospital pass in the build-up to Shoes penalty. That's true. The hospital pass was there. I'd said on the penalty it wasn't all O'Connell's fault. Matty trying to pass that ball across the face of goal, basically, in our own box. Never do that. That's a hard no-no. So he has to take some of that. But Matty didn't have his best game because we weren't passing the ball in the middle of the park. But 5 for him. Andy Cannon put a shift in. Okay. Got a 6. Worked well with Barnett. I thought Andy did put himself about. Rathbone got a 7. Full of energy in the midfield and maybe should have done better with a header in the first half stoppage time. Possibly was still off target. Possibly. Max did make errors, Sarah and Ruth. He totally did. Elliot Lee got a 5. Was one of those nights when things just didn't come off for the Reds. Creative midfielder. Got 5. That's about right. Fletcher headed home the classic center forward goal. Worked hard up front. Got a 6. Fair enough. Okay. So they gave Barney an 8. They gave Barney an 8 and Rathbone a 7. And the feedback on Max there is very, very generous. Very generous. And I'm not trying to be going on him. Mullen got a 6. Wrexham were better when he came on and came close to grabbing a late leveler. Didn't go in. Yeah. Jack Marriott got a 5 after breaking his leg. Went for an equalizer. Jack looks sharp, to be honest, for 3.5 months out. He looked sharp for a guy that looked at and played football in a long time. EOC got a 4. Yes, Steve Barton. He got a 4. Mo Fall came out in the 90th minute and got a 5. I mean, that's just pointless. Absolutely pointless. So those are the ratings. And okay, those are the ratings. What are you going to do? O'Connell got a 4. I mean, that's wear that one. He's going to wear that one. We'll remember that performance, and we'll see what Parkinson does if he gives a scar a shot. And I think he should. I really think he should. It's going to be a big game, and they're going to be coming at us double barrels next week. Double barrel. All right, just a quick one here too. A little news and notes and updates. Brad Foster, Foz 2.0, has signed a new contract at Wrexham. He's going to be here till the end of the season. Short term, 23 years old, initially signed. He does need a timeout. C. Barton talking about EOC. And the 4 was generous, Ruth. The 4 was generous. But back here, AO and Barton both got injured. They brought in Foz 2.0, 23 years old. I thought he played really well the time we've seen him against Port Vale. So I'd like to see him again. He said on a new contract, Foster on the official website said, "I'm enjoying my time here, and it's nice to be here for the rest of the season. It's good to have him settled and in." It was tough to be thrown into my debut against Crew, but having not playing since preseason, but it was great to get the win, which was the most important thing. And the clean sheet was a bonus for me too. My target now is just keep improving in training and do the job Aiden Davidson needs me to do. Get my head down and earn my place here. Good job. So it's a good group, and the lads have all been great since, and it's nice to be a part of it. Parkinson said Brad trained really well, and he's a good addition for us. We look forward to continuing to work for him. Okay, that's out of the way. So that's done with him. That's good. Here's a better photo of him. I guess you can see right there. There he is. Big. Look at the big brain on Brad. So Brad is here. Foz 2.0 is here. And that's a good news. Also, there were departures yesterday. Kind of got lost. They kind of dumped this one before the game, but Vartson. But Vartson has left, and so has Billy Waters, which we talked about the other day. But Vartson has left the League One High Flyers with mutual consent, take opportunities at other clubs. He is at Burton. He's signed with Burton. And let me see now. Who else left? This one here too. But Vartson has left. That's great. We couldn't guarantee him game time, and he wanted to play because he's still young enough to continue his career. That is what Parkinson said about Vartson. Okay. John needed to go and play somewhere for his own career. Fair enough. Okay. That's great. And, good for him. He never got an opportunity, to be fair with him. He really never got an opportunity. I bet you he played 45, 50 minutes of football. He did. I don't think Parkinson fancied him. And then Billy Waters went out to Oldham. So good for him. Move some players out. Let's see what we're going to do in the market. I'm hoping we're in for some power, some firepower. I don't know. We'll see. talked to me 48 hours ago, I said Parkinson, maybe not. He probably thinks he has enough, but I'm allowed to be wrong and I'm allowed to change my mind, but it's not about me. I'm wondering what he's going to do. I'm wondering what he's going to do. So we'll see what happens there too. If he's going to go into that market. Rumors of the Michael Smith thing. We'll see what's going on. Week off to think about him shitting the bed. Yes, Steve Barton still on O'Connell, and I don't blame it. I mean, I don't blame it at all. Again, okay. Yeah, look, tomorrow there's some good games on tomorrow. Let me just see here. Here's the table. There's the table. Obviously, we have it up there too. But we got, what's the scores and fixtures for tomorrow? So tomorrow's games, where is it? If I can figure this out. Really? What's going on here? Not Wrexham. Sorry. I'm going to try to get tomorrow's games up real quick. League One. There you go. There you go. Tomorrow's games. Again, there are some decent games tomorrow. The Huddersfield Blackpool game is a good one. Peterborough, Leighton have been flying. Lincoln City, Birmingham City, Exeter. Okay, let's see. Maybe Birmingham can drop some points too. Bolton Wanderers, Cambridge. Okay, and Mansfield, Wickham Wanderers is another big game, and Reading, Stockport. So there's some games that are very, very interesting. And again, I'm probably just going to relax. And thank you, Kelly. I saw you there. Just relax and enjoy. I'm probably just going to relax and hang out to get better. But let's see what we do. We got a big game coming up. We do, and make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. It is a big game. It is a big game. It's even bigger now. And maybe this is something from what happened last night to kick us in the ass. None of the, all the, well, we got to go better and got to go again, all that shit. And, we'll cover it for the next 5 days, but I don't want to pick against our side, but if we play like that, we're going to get rinsed. And I said it earlier. So guys need to look in the mirror and say, who do we want to be? Who do we want to be? So frustrating. But again, like Kelly said, got to close it down and we got to move forward. This is the last we'll talk about it. About last night, it was absolute crap. Glenda says, enjoy your day tomorrow, and I hope you feel better soon. Thank you, Glenda. I really appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. And remember to hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Yes, please subscribe to the Local Pundit. Grow. Let's go. Let's grow this a fantastic community that we built here. All right, it's a Friday night. It's 4 o'clock. Did a quick half hour with everybody. Yesterday was great, by the way. It's a long day, which is why I probably went down a little bit today with my illness here. Feel better soon. Thank you very much, Dan Moore. Appreciate that. So enjoy it. Tomorrow I'll figure something out. Maybe that's a wrap show. And if I feel better in the morning, I want to get up and do a show because I want to be with all of you, I might do it. But most likely it'll be tomorrow. We'll be off. So smash the like on the way out. And on that bombshell, I'll see you all soon.